Right. Doug Rowe, you back with us, First Sergeant, yet?
I am here.
Okay. Are you ready to GO?
I'm ready to go. For my local woodturning club in January, hopefully. And this was not my idea. This was an idea I'd gotten from another woodturner off YouTube. He's a retired master sergeant from the Marine Corps. Last name's Humphrey. A lot of you might already be following him. If you're not, go give him a look. He's really good. I like to call him the Bob Ross of woodturning, and you'll understand if you haven't seen his videos, the way he just talks through everything. He's so soft, and it's hard to believe the guy was ever a Marine with the way he demonstrates on YouTube. But again, so this was something I picked up from him. And essentially what we're going to do is we are going to cut out a pattern in the bottom of a bowl, fill it with resin, throw it back on the lathe, and then as you turn out the bowl, meaning bore out the center, all of a sudden the resin comes through with whatever the pattern was. So I'm going to adjust the camera. Let me know. Are you guys seeing this area right here pretty good?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so essentially what I have here is just a blank that I turned out real quick from a piece of elm. Of course, the type of wood doesn't matter as much as if you're using resin, the drier the wood, the better it's going to turn out. Okay, so something that will make things easier for you as you're going through this process. On one side, you want to go ahead and turn a mortise. You don't want to use a tenon for this one, and it'll make sense in a minute why. So then I'm going to lay it flat, got the center finder, find my center, determine what pattern we're going to use. In this case, we're going to use a Christmas bell. And then I'm going to line this bell up as close to center as I can without getting the ruler out, getting super complicated. Hopefully I'm not sticking my head in your guys' way.
No, you all right?
Okay, so there you go. We just drew out a bell. So the next step now is to router this out. Is our safety guy watching?
Yeah, he's got his hat on and everything.
All right, tell me if I do anything dangerous. I got the router. Okay, this works easier with a plunge router. You don't have to have a plunge router. But what I like with the plunge router is I can set my depth where I want, how deep I want to go. When I'm routing this out, you essentially, you can't really go too far. It's just the deeper you go, the more resin you're going to use. You can go too shallow. So when in doubt, go a little deeper. So you set your plunge to wherever you are, you flip on the router, and you route real quick. Somebody make a router noise for me. Like, okay, we're done routing. Safety guy, sorry, you didn't get to see me make any serious violations. But we have just routed out this bell. We've now mixed up our resin. We chose a color out of our mica powders. We poured our resin and we put it in the pressure pot, and lo and behold, we're done already. Boom. So here's where I routed out the bell. I filled it full of resin. There's my mortise, not a tenon. Why did I want to use a mortise and not a tenon? If I used a tenon, well, the safety guy would be losing his mind as we're trying to route this thing and it's rocking all over the place. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So that's why we want the mortise, not the tenon. Okay, understand though, this is the bottom of the bowl. When it's all said and done, the bowl is going to sit like this. Then we're going to route it or turn it out. And as the bowl is finished, then you will see a bell in the bottom of your bowl. So again, the mortise helps us because now I have a way to put it back on the lathe. I can then form whichever I prefer, a mortise or a tenon on this side, finish the bottom of the bowl like we normally would, and then we turn it out. So give me just a minute while I readjust the camera and mount this on the lathe, and we'll go ahead and turn this out real quick and see if
How deep did you go, Doug?
So on this one, I did go fairly deep. If I check my plunge on my router right there, because it's still set. Let me see if I can.
Of course, that's unplugged, right?
Let me show him just to make sure he knows it is.
Thank you.
We got a safety director keep an eye on us.
Of course, it never wants to plunge right when I'm trying to demo. So, okay, there we are. So I went just about the full depth of my router bit. And that router bit is about 3/4 of an inch, maybe. Yeah, thereabouts. I went fairly deep. And of course, if you're not used to routing, you don't do that all in one pass. So if you're going to jump into this for the first time and try and plunge a router bit all the way in, it's going to be a rough day. So lots of passes coming around. Unlike when you're routing out like a furniture piece or something, you need everything to be perfectly smooth, right? Not so much for this process, because remember, the other side of this bell is getting turned anyway until we get to the depth that we want. What does need to be as close to perfect as you can is your edges, because that's where the resin's going to set, and you're never going to really turn the edge of that bowl. We're just going to turn it down, if that makes sense. So any other questions before I go ahead and set it up?
All right, and you really should have that held somehow on the bench, not just kind of.
Oh yeah, for sure. When this was being routed out, it was stuck in with the dogs. Let me see if I can show you where I actually did this the other night. So can you see? Let me set the router down. You see these little bad boys? So this is what actually. I gotta find my sweet spot wherever I was. There we go. Lock that, and that can't move now.
Thank you.
And like anything else, breathing apparatus and the router is extremely noisy. So hearing protection kind of, it's a given with a router. Alrighty. Go ahead.
Stephen, huh? Can't hear you.
Oh yeah. So because it's obviously come off the lathe and gone back on the lathe, it's a given. It's going to need a little bit of a truing. So we'll set it up to do that right quick. It's a small enough piece. I could probably get away without the tailstock on this part, but I like the tailstock. Plus, it's going to mark a spot for me for center. So I was just like, oh yeah, that's going to need some serious truing. I really, it'll work though.
Should have marked check jaw one.
What's that?
Mark your jaw position.
I should have. You are absolutely right. I should have, but guess what? I didn't.
You should do that.
Hey, real quick while I'm getting set up, Dean, explain to everybody what you mean by that, by marking the jaw. Give me just a second while I get adjusted here.
So when the mortise and or tenon is made, it's always a good idea to annotate on where the chuck is meeting against your bowl blank of a jaw position. Jaw one just seems like the natural position location to mark. That way, when you take it off, you can mount the blank back, get it in the correct jaw orientation, and it will be mounted perfect again, and it won't be out of balance. It also helps for remounting when you guys are making bird blanks.
Can you say that again on the marking on the chuck itself, or where it meets the tenon?
Yeah, so whenever you have your blank mounted, so annotate on the back of the wood blank where the jaw number 1 meets the wood blank. And so if you just outline the side of your jaws where it meets, and then if you take it off, or should you lose the bowl blank come off of the lathe, then all you got to do is look on the back of your bowl blank, see where that mark is at, and then put it back up on jaw number 1, and you'll always be in balance. You won't be out of balance or have that out of balance, or have to do the pencil test to find out which side needs to be adjusted, and then you turn around and take and shove a couple pieces of masking tape on the opposite side to straighten your blank up.
So there's my jaw number 1 that Dane's talking about. And then what I should have done was made a little mark right there. So then when I put this back on, I would have that orientation that he was talking about, and I wouldn't have nearly as much wobble. Is it going to be perfect? No, but it would be a whole lot closer than that is. But it would take us forever to sit here and be tedious and move that around. So we're just going to roll with it and true it back up.
Thank you.
It's just for demo purposes anyway.
But did that answer your question, sir?
Thank you. Yes, it did. Thank you.
Great.
All right. Hopefully that's a pretty decent orientation for you. I don't have the fancy camera setups that some of our other turners had. You're just watching this off an iPhone and a tripod.
Yeah, it looks great.
All right. I'm just using the big scraper real quick for make things faster. We're going to true this up, and then once we feel like we're more balanced, then we'll form the bottom of our bowl just like you would any other bowl. I'll probably go with a mortise just because I like them better. But at this point, you really could use a mortise or a tenon, doesn't matter. And then we'll flip it around. So make sure nothing's hitting there. Speeds all the way down, lay this on. We are in forward, not reverse. Take us oh, that feels pretty good. Ever so gentle, just
Please note he's wearing his shield and his respiratory protection. See that?
and then I saw that new turner was on tonight. He's kind of a younger guy getting into turning, Mark Soleil. So remember what Mark Soleil talks about, making that triangle, and the body moves, not the hand, right? So hopefully, I know that's kind of hard to see. I wonder if I adjust the camera, we can kind of show what Mark talks about, where we turn from the hips. I wonder, you guys will have to tell me if I go right there. Can you see more of my hips from right here, or can you see the triangle better?
Yes.
Okay. So, and Mark, if I'm not teaching it as well as you do, please jump in. But as you see, I'm not gonna move my hands away. I move right here at my hips. Let my body just kind of float. And what I kind of like about when Mark teaches that on his YouTube channel or his videos, it took me back to my wrestling days. Everything is moves from the hip. And now when I'm turning, I do look down to see where my tool is, but I watch up here a lot. That's where I'm looking to see, am I still wobbling? The thing's starting to look a little truer. We need a little bit more.
You're watching for the shadow, the ghost material to disappear.
It's not a rush. Just take your time. There we go. Now, of course, because the resin's all over it, no matter what, from your angle, it looks like it's probably bouncing all over the place. But again, I'm just focusing right up here on this part. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and adjust now. Take the tailstock off. We're going to bring this around and form the bottom of our bowl real quick. Shouldn't take but just a few minutes.
Hey, Doug.
Sure, go ahead.
Why are you using a scraper? Why did you choose that instead of something else?
Just because I wanted something quick so we don't have to be here for a long time, and using a scraper is like breathing for me, super easy.
Okay,
I
cool,
can use
thanks.
the gouge, it would have worked. Then I get a catch and then the demo's all messed up. So that's really the only reason.
Well, that never happens here on our program.
I am going to use the gouge though when I'm hollowing out the bowl, of course. So, there's still a chance that something will go wrong.
Doug, I don't want to burst your bubble, but I think Mark Slay fell asleep.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no, wait, he's still there. He just got his eyes closed.
Okay. He's probably only seen this done about a bazillion times.
Doesn't have his mic turned on.
I am going to, I think, put you guys over here, and that way you'll see more of the turning and less of my back of my head. Let's see. So if I'm here, how's that look for you guys?
Looks great to me.
Okay.
In the words of Doug Moore, it looks great from my house.
What's that? In the words of Doug Moore is what I heard, and then what?
It looks great from my house.
Oh. So again, why I like to use the tailstock, it made the little indentation right there, so it just gives me a starting point. Not a requirement, but I like it. All right, so not all of us have the lathes with the safety switch on them, or where you can turn it on and off from both sides, but I do. So what I'll do is turn it off over there, turn this one back on, and now I'm going to control everything from this side. This side I don't have to keep walking back and forth in front of it.
Wow, that sounded like a catch.
It's always rough when you cut the resin for the first time. That first cut, you tend to get a lot of chip out.
Be careful, Doug. You don't want to turn it into birdwood. I mean, we got one of the
Yeah.
professionals, the experts on birdwood with us tonight.
Takes flight sometimes.
I look through the scroll who's in here tonight. I see Brenda's in there this evening. Welcome. A lot of the regular family is in with us tonight, and this happens every Wednesday evening. We start at 6:30 p.m. Supposed to be 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. We turn a button on around 6 o'clock to start chatting, and sometimes it runs 3.5 hours. You're welcome to be part anytime, but with anything you'd like. You want to do a demonstration, we're here. You want to show off tools, but we do not do commercials. Oh, to give you a financial report. We don't have any money.
I second it.
All right. Is that a 1/2-inch bowl gouge you're using, Doug, or Ellsworth type?
Yep.
Okay.
All in favor of accepting the minutes as read?
I,
And we went through them quick.
I bring that down more.
sounds like a few of us sat through a VFW meeting.
I tuned into a club's workshop the other day and was shocked when they actually did a brief recap of the meetings and mentioned that it was in their newsletter. And then they did a little quick financial report and catch up. In 5 minutes, caught up all the members on the business of the club and still managed to keep going with a great demonstration.
That's good.
Uh-oh, scratch right there. Let's hope this thing doesn't open up on us. All right, I'm gonna get to speed things up again right quick. I'm gonna scrape this down. I got some high spots right here. And I'm gonna go a little bit faster.
Oh, Paul Barn threw a comment there a minute ago about the longer resin cures, the harder it gets. He likes to turn his pieces a day after he does a casting.
That's a little bit closer to not perfect, but good enough. All right, let's go ahead and form us a mortise. Okay, the rest is, yeah, I think I'm gonna be all right.
While Doug's turning to interject, our chat system is made to share information. And I've seen a couple of good questions come up tonight, and our members have put good answers on them. So if you got something to share or a question you have, chat is where to go. When you leave tonight, copy chat, save it on your machine so you have it, but our webmaster puts it on our website.
Hey, and those of you that are good at finding links and putting them in the chats for us real quick, if somebody's able to go find, it's R. Humphrey. And I can't remember the name of his YouTube channel right now, but this is the guy that I learned this from, and he's got some really cool demos on how to do this.
Yeah, I think pole barn.
It was already posted.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Yeah, Top's great people.
He is, he really is.
What are you using there, Doug?
Just a parting tool. It's not gonna be pretty, but it's gonna work. That'll be good enough to hold it. What does Eddie say? If you can hold it, you can turn it.
That's right. It's the key to it.
I think we can hold it with that little one. So again, now if I go too deep, I can make a deeper mortise, but the deeper I go, the more of my resin I'm losing on the other side. So I just, take that into consideration. Yes, I did just guess on that side, but I guessed pretty close. Pretty close. Those jaws didn't have to open up too much.
Are you gonna mark your jaws again?
I won't have to because I'm not going to turn this bowl again. So if I was actually, trying to real bowl here, then we would have finished that whole side, right? We would have did all the sanding and everything, but I'm not going to go back to that side now. Unless it turns out super great, then I'll have to use my vacuum truck, I guess, but but I'm just trying to get this knocked out. So this is right here. This is going to be the coolest part of the demo if everything works. So as we turn this wood away, you're going to see that green bell just all of a sudden appear in there. It's pretty neat. So any questions so far?
No.
All right, then we'll mask back up and keep it going.
We just got a note from our webmaster. It said, if you'd like to see a directory listed on our website for a particular YouTube channel you like, you just put it at a website in our directory and on our website in a message, and Dave will add it to our website. And the links to other turners are on the chat right now.
All right, again, we're just gonna scrape the face real quick just to kind of chew things up a little.
I'm trying to count, but I think you're up to what, 1,800 RPMs, something like that?
But you blink your eyes real fast.
That's how I counted.
Just because I can. There's absolutely no reason to do this. There's plenty of tools that would work to do this. But I just feel like using the first tool that I made that I got from a guy named Eddie Kessler. Set that back up.
We got a safety tip from Brenda. Said, don't spray yourself off with an air hose.
I do it all the time. I call it my air shower, but close your eyes. I'm a little high. So in any other situation, if I said I'm a little high right now, that might mean something totally different, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Depends on what state you're in. Depends on what state you're in.
Yeah, go further west, you'd be all right, Doug.
Yeah.
It's legal here now.
All right. Anytime now, you're going to start seeing some green come through.
Anytime now, folks, anytime.
Anytime.
He's got another inch to go.
See if I can see it. No, nothing's poking through there yet. there it is.
Okay, yeah.
So we'll stop for a second just to show you. Whoa. Can you guys see that dot there? No.
Is that Greenwood?
It's going to be green resin going to be coming through. There you go. That dot right there, y'all see that?
I thought it was gonna be bigger.
It will be.
Okay.
It will be. All right, here we go.
Nothing like doing a gallery with a peanut gallery, right? 25 minutes after the hour, folks. You're tuned into Worldwide Woodturners. If you'd like to get in touch with us or be part of our program, we do this every Wednesday evening. We start the clock at around 6 o'clock Central Daylight Time. The meeting is from 7 to 8 o'clock. We normally hang out until about 9 o'clock. Our demonstrator this evening is our first sergeant, Doug Rowe, out of Arizona. We've got members from all over the world tuned in tonight to be part of our group. If you want to be part, jump in. If you got a question, when he says you got a question, give it to him. Let's try to stump the Sarge. Pardon me, let's use him for what he's worth.
I really like that anti-funnel indicator.
It is a little anti-funnelist, yes. I'm not saying I can't still push through, but gosh, I'd be dumb.
Well, it lets you know when you're close.
Now that I said I'm going to jinx myself and push through, but
You do that, I'm gonna laugh at you.
I would deserve it.
I want to know how Matt's going to handle it.
I'll be laughing right there with you. What do you mean?
Been there, done that.
At the wall of funnel shame.
And you guys said Doug Moore is on tonight?
I thought we saw him earlier.
Yeah, he's heckling in the chat.
I didn't hear how killed
He's there.
Since he's on, I'm going to do this just because I learned it from him. I'm about to put my lathe in reverse.
It's not my fault. I didn't do
And
it.
I'm going to turn on the other side. What in the world? This doesn't hurt my neck nearly as much.
You know, I still haven't seen a bell yet.
You got to close your right eye and stare.
I didn't see a set screw get put in that chuck either.
You didn't see a what?
Set screw in the chuck.
Let me see.
Uh-oh.
You get him. You get him. Get him good.
Jeff, why didn't you catch that, bud?
Jeff was blinded by his light necklace.
Oops.
Now I want you to use ball gouge in reverse.
Oh, use a bull gouge in reverse. Can we do that on the next demo when I get him paid quadruple?
Got your Kevlar on for that one, don't you?
I've done it. It works.
It works great. Especially if you got problematic grain. If you put it in reverse and turn on the other side, 9 times out of 10, it'll come off like normal.
Uh,
It's
for,
just intimidating to do
Oh,
it.
that works.
Yeah. for new turners, the comment about the set screw was, if you do what Doug did a minute ago and turn on the flip side, you'll have if you get a catch, you will have a tendency to unscrew your piece and chuck off the lathe. That's why the set screw is in there as a safety precaution.
And even if you don't get a catch and you're just turning a really big piece and you go to turn your lathe off, sometimes the weight of it will just turn it right off on you too. Go ahead and ask me how I know.
Oh, you saw it in a picture, right?
Yeah, I saw a video on it.
It'll do that right off the worm screw if you got a break on your lathe like I do.
Yeah.
Turn that piece right off the worm screw.
Doug, your videos are exactly why I don't have my brake set. I let mine free spin.
I didn't know you could unset my brake. I like it. I don't like waiting for it to stop.
Yeah, it's in the programming of that controller.
I just figured out how to make it go 50 RPMs.
Yes, it can do that too.
Yeah, I just figured it out. I got Rich down there at Nova actually gave me the codes for it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we should be pretty close to seeing a bell shape now. I'll move the tool rest out of the way. So you all can see it starting to come through.
Looks like the Liberty Bell with a crack in it.
Yeah. But so at any rate, that's the idea there. I don't think you guys need to see me keep turning to watch that come off unless you want to. But what I was hoping to get out of it was to just show you guys another option when it comes to combining your resin with your wood turning. There's just a lot of different stuff. And again, I want to reiterate, this was not my idea. I am plagiarizing, but I'm acknowledging my plagiarism. And that's R. Humphrey. Please go check out that. He's got a lot of just really, really good videos. And if you know who Bob Ross, the painter, is, then you'll understand when I refer to him as the Bob Ross of wood turning. And then Mike Walt, if you ever watch his videos, he's an English guy. I like to call him the English Bob Ross of wood turning. Something about their voices. But all right, any questions for me?
No, thanks, Doug. That was cool. Thanks.
Betcha.
Very nice, Sarge. Now you got a commitment. We don't want to tie you up, but very nice demo. We really appreciate you stepping up and stepping in to help us out tonight.
I wish I could stay
That's
for the
awesome.
meeting tonight, guys, but we had some family emergency stuff come up and I got to go help the family.
All right, we'll take care of them, Doug,
Thank
and
you.
we'll see you again next week, sir. And while Doug's ducking out, I want to mention that Worldwide Woodturners does support the Freedom Pen Project.